happens without meaning. Teachings of the Buddha. 1. When life doesn't go the way we expect. There are moments in life when everything seems to slip beyond our control. You may have experienced that feeling before, when a relationship you deeply valued suddenly falls apart, when a job that once felt secure unexpectedly comes to an end. When the plans you carefully built collapse after a single unforeseen event. In those moments, a familiar question often arises in the mind. Why is this happening to me? It is not just a question. It is confusion, pain, and a sense of helplessness when facing things we cannot control. But if you pause for a moment and look deeper into life, you may begin to realize something. Life does not operate randomly. According to Buddhist philosophy, nothing that happens is meaningless. Every event, every challenge, every loss, every joy, all are part of a greater flow. An invisible order that we cannot always understand immediately. And the moment you begin to change your question, from "Why is this happening to me?" to "What is this trying to teach me?" you have already taken your first steps on the path of true growth. 2. Pain, the teacher we always try to avoid. No one wants to suffer. We constantly seek happiness, stability, and a sense of security. Yet life does not always align with those desires. Suffering is an unavoidable part of being human. In Buddhism, the first truth the Buddha pointed out is that life involves suffering. But this truth is not meant to make us pessimistic. It is meant to help us see the true nature of existence. And the important thing is this: suffering is not the enemy. It is a teacher. A harsh teacher, but an honest one. A teacher we often try to avoid, yet the one who teaches us the deepest lessons. Look back at your own life. Were the moments you grew the most the moments you were happiest? Or were they the moments you suffered the most? When you fail, you learn perseverance. When you lose something, you learn appreciation. When you are hurt, you learn how to love yourself. Pain, when observed with awareness, always carries within it a seed of wisdom. 3. The story of salt and water, the power of perspective. There is a Buddhist story about a disciple who constantly complained that life was unfair. He felt that everything was against him. He was frustrated, discouraged, and could not understand why he had to endure so much. The master did not argue or lecture at length. He simply asked the disciple to bring him a handful of salt. He told him to dissolve the salt into a small glass of water and drink it. The disciple did so, and immediately grimaced at the bitter taste. Then the master took him to a large lake. He asked him to throw the same handful of salt into the lake, and then drink the water. This time, the water was clear and easy to drink. The master smiled and said, "The pain in life is like this handful of salt. It does not change. What changes is the container you put it in. If your mind is small, pain will fill all of it. But if you expand your perspective, the pain becomes lighter." This is a powerful lesson. You cannot always control what happens, but you can always change how you see it. 4. Without chaos, there is no transformation. Human beings naturally crave stability. We want things to be safe, predictable, and unchanging. But prolonged comfort is exactly what keeps us stagnant. When everything is easy, we have no reason to grow. It is often when life breaks us down that we are forced to change. Imagine a seed. If it remains on the surface, exposed to sunlight and air, but is never buried in the soil, never experiences darkness and pressure, it will never grow into a tree. To grow, it must be buried, endure pressure, and break open from within. The same is true for us. We need difficult moments to break through our old limitations. A failure can lead you to a new path. An ending can open the door to a new beginning. A crisis can awaken you from unconscious living. Without chaos, there is no transformation. 5. Dharma, the invisible order times when life feels completely out of control. Things don't go according to plan. You feel lost, unsure whether you are on the right path. But in Buddhist philosophy, there is an invisible law governing everything. This is known as Dharma. Dharma is not something mystical. It is the natural order of the universe. Like spring comes and goes, rivers flow endlessly, trees grow over time, everything unfolds in its own rhythm. The problem is that humans often try to control that rhythm. We want things to happen faster, and exactly the way we expect. And when they don't, we feel disappointed. But the truth is, what leaves your life may no longer serve you. What has not arrived may not yet be the right time. What is happening may be preparing you for something greater. When you begin to trust this flow, you worry less, control less, and live more peacefully. 6. The illusion of control. From a young age, we are taught, if you try hard enough, you can control your life. But reality is different. You can plan, but you cannot guarantee outcomes. You can try, but you cannot control every variable. You can desire, but you cannot force life to follow your script. This truth can be uncomfortable, but the attempt to control everything is the source of much of our suffering. When things don't go your way, you feel anxious, disappointed, angry, afraid. But when you accept that, you can only control your actions, not the results. You begin to feel lighter. 7. Learning to let go and flow with life. In Eastern philosophy, there is an important concept, wu wei. It does not mean doing nothing. It means acting naturally, without force, without resisting the flow of life. Like water. Water does not fight the rock, yet it flows past it. Water is soft, yet incredibly powerful. When you live this way, you still take action, you still make effort, but you do not try to control everything. You do your best, and then you let go. 8. Finding peace in uncertainty. Life is always changing. Nothing is certain. But that does not mean you must live in fear. Peace does not come from controlling the future. It comes from accepting that you do not need to know everything. Imagine you are in a small boat in the middle of the ocean. You cannot control the waves, but you can learn how to navigate them. Life is the same. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. 9. Every event is a step toward awakening. When you look back at your life, you will realize the things that once seemed the worst were often the things that changed you the most. A failure made you stronger. A loss made you deeper. A crisis awakened you. When you shift your perspective, you are no longer a victim of life. You become a student of life. Every experience becomes a lesson. Every difficulty becomes an opportunity. 10. Conclusion. Life is not against you. Life is not your enemy. It is not trying to hurt you. It is shaping you. Every challenge, every change, every difficulty is guiding you closer to the best version of yourself. When you understand this, you become less afraid. You try to control less. You live more lightly. And most importantly, you begin to believe everything happens for a reason.
Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to watch more interesting videos.